I look at this pay-per-view, and I'm going to be honest here. You guys already know which show do I care more about. Is it Raw or SmackDown? I care more about SmackDown because of the more compelling characters that I like, even if they're not being written properly for, and the shorter show. That is the reason I like SmackDown Live. A shorter show with characters I actually care about. Was this a great show? It was solid enough that it was average. And that's not bad. Now, a lot of people are not going to say that was great. A lot of people are going to say a lot of the booking wasn't good, and I'm going to agree with them. A lot of the booking wasn't that great. But I still like this show. It was not that bad. Let's look at the kickoff show, which I do believe they made a mistake on. Well, actually, let's do two things about the kickoff show. The first one, I saw Naomi talk, and she wanted to state that no one is going to get over on her, generally. And that they're going to feel the glow if they interfere with the match that she's going to be involved in as a lumberjill or lumberjack. It doesn't matter if she's a Jill or Jack. She's in a lumberjack match. She's one of the participants around the ring. I'll explain about that. I'm just glad they did give her an interview. I just wish they wouldn't just leave her on the wayside now. But it was good. Now, Mojo Rawley versus Zack Ryder. I wish this had been left for SmackDown Live. You're going to establish Mojo Rawley as a real player, as a heel. And I think it would have been better for SmackDown Live to actually give him that spotlight. That's where it should have happened. Not here on the kickoff show. I'm being honest here. It shouldn't have happened on the kickoff show. It should have happened on SmackDown Live in a prominent spot in the show. Maybe the 1 hour main event. That would have been better. That this was important to them. But they didn't do it, and Mojo won. He acted very dominant, and he acted like a real heel. Something we don't normally see. We see chicken shit heels. Or at least strong heels who turn chicken shit. I don't believe he'll turn chicken shit, but you never know. Now, the first match of the night, which I felt, you see it in my face. You see the ending of it in my face. I'm taking it away, and I'm just going to leave what is... Why? Why? Look. What was the point of putting the strap on Dolph Ziggler? What was the point? Dolph Ziggler has done 100% nothing. And I'm saying this. I know how the Sleg Daddy and Off the Rope Show Central feels about Dolph Ziggler. He hates his ass. And a lot of the people, they like him. But I see him for what he is. He once had a chance to really get over. But they chose not to leave him there long enough to do something. And to give him the strap to do it with. So when it comes down to it, he's a joke. 100% a joke. He's been a joke for almost 2 years now. Instead of just giving him the freaking strap and leaving it on him, they didn't give him the strap. And they didn't do anything with him on top of that except get people over. So when you see this, what was the point of it? The person that should have won the title was Bobby Roode. Look, the guy has 20 to 22 years of experience. He has more experience than both of the other guys. I don't hate Baron Corbin, and honestly, I don't hate Dolph Ziggler. I don't. I just believe that his time is done because they're not going to do anything with him. Instead of letting him sink or swim by the crowd's cheers or boos or putting butts in the seats, they never gone there with him. So when it comes to him, he's a joke. When it comes to Baron Corbin, he said one thing wrong, stupidly wrong, mind you, probably, on, what was it, Instagram or Twitter, and he pissed someone off and he ended up like this. So when you look at this situation, it's a joke. It really is a joke. So in the end, it should have been Bobby Roode. It should have been. It's such a waste. Now, I was talking about the ladies earlier. I'm just going to get it over with now. Charlotte versus Natalya in a lumberjack match. Look, the Riot Squad was there. All the other women were there. But why were the heel women working with the faction heel women that beat the fuck out of them before? Look, the Riot Squad should not be beating up people alongside the other heels. Now, mind you, eventually they just broke into a fight. And eventually Charlotte won the match. But I felt that was a waste. I mean, the Riot Squad is no better than the Absolution. Instead of doing something special with them where they would kick butt and they wouldn't need to be worried about anybody, they get their butts kicked. And that was before this pay-per-view. Here, they felt like an afterthought. Because instead of this being about the Riot Squad, what do you think it was about? Two things. Charlotte retaining, and then Natalya pretty much saying, you turn your back on me, I'm going to turn my back on you. What does that mean? Does that mean she quits? Does that mean she's quitting WWE? Does that mean she's quitting SmackDown Live and wants to go to Raw? I don't know. I honestly don't know. We'll find out this SmackDown Live, but this wasn't about the Riot Squad. And that's where the mistake has been made. Bad writing. It's just a waste. What was the Riot Squad for? You should never brought them in as a group. You should have brought them in individually, and that would have been the end of it. That's just how I feel. Now, the match that upset me the most. Bludgeon Bros versus Fashion Popo. Look, the Bludgeon Brothers have been getting some good heat, and I like it. They actually did a segment after the match where I wish that Eric hadn't talked. It was just Luke. But it was still effective enough. As I said, what they needed to do, they did it. They pretty much stated, we're going to take out everyone. We are the Bludgeon Brothers. Threw the freaking bikes onto the floor and then yelled at everybody and then walked away. That is exactly what they need to do. Short, sweet, to the point, and just vicious. But they went up against the Fashion Police. The Fashion Police should not be jobbing to the Bludgeon Brothers. The Fashion Police is one of the most entertaining groups they have next to the Usos and next to New Day. There's nothing wrong with having three groups that are entertaining WWE. The Fashion Police is just as good as the Usos, the New Day. And yes, I know you're going to be saying, dude, what about Rusev Day? That's a little bit too much. They had to bury them. And I'm going to say, yes, I understand. I do. But they didn't have to be buried that bad. They didn't. I just wish they hadn't gone there. I mean, they weren't wrestling. That was the thing. They didn't need to wrestle. They just worked in the back. That's just how I feel. Now, I just said it. Let's get it done. Fatal 4-way for the IC, not IC. I think I know the reason I botched. You know why? The wrong team won. Even though I love the Usos, this Fatal 4-way tag match should have been about Rusev Day. And I want to make this very clear. If anyone doesn't notice, who is the one between Rusev and Aiden English get them all over? It was Aiden English. I've said this from the very beginning when a lot of people didn't like Aiden English. And I'm sure a lot of people still don't. Aiden English is so entertaining. Singing opera. Singing operatic. It's Rusev Day. Honestly, the man has talent. If he didn't wrestle anymore and he was just a manager, he would truly get anyone over. He got Rusev over. Look, Rusev was buried after dealing with Randy Orton. It was a complete disaster. What was the point of Rusev staying? He should have left. But then he started working with Aiden English, who got him over. I applaud Aiden English. That man is a freaking... That man is a genius. I love him. I love Aiden English. I don't really care about Rusev. You can insert anyone else other than Rusev, and Aiden English will get them over. He would. But here's the thing. As much as I love the Usos, which did the 12 Usos of Christmas, saying 12 days locked down. Pretty much, you're saying the 12th day of Christmas locked down. I like that. I loved them. You know I love the Usos, but the Usos shouldn't have won here. It should have been Rusev Day. The crowd was going freaking nuts for Rusev and Aiden English. They had the option to pull the trigger and they didn't. And I just feel like it's a lost opportunity. I'm being honest here. They got over big time and nothing has happened because of it, and that's just a waste. I'm just saying it. Now, let's see. Let's get this part over with. I want to get it done. Tag match of Shinsuke Nakamura and Randy Orton versus the Yuppers of the Yuppers. That's right. It's stupid. When you look at Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the Yuppers, they're in my face. They've been in my face for a while. It just is funny. And this match was weirdly sloppy, but it was done purposely. Look, you got two refs in the ring at the same time, and they had to sort out who was going to go where. Eventually, they cut the ring down the middle. You got Bryan on one side, and you got Shane on the other. And eventually, it broke down to the point where pretty much Shane pissed off Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan pissed off Shane. Daniel Bryan shoves back Shane. Shane shoves back Daniel Bryan. And eventually, Daniel Bryan does a fast count and allows the heels to win. This was exactly as I thought. The Yuppers are a plot device for the feud between the Daniel Bryan and the Shane McMahon. But here's the question. How far are they going to go with this feud? I believe this feud is going to be one of the most interesting things that comes out in 2018. It is. Now, I know I could have left this for the end of my review, but I decided to do it here because when you really care, I'll combine what happened with AJ. No, don't combine. I'm not going to combine them. I am going to talk about what happened with AJ Styles and Jinder Mahal. And I know a lot of people are not going to like what I say, but I'm going to say it. But here, this will be the feud of 2018. I'm sure of it. Daniel Bryan going up against Shane McMahon in some form or fashion, even if it's not a match, is going to make WrestleMania. I do believe if they are not stupid, they could make this into a WrestleMania match. Or something involving WrestleMania. I don't believe it's going to be involving what Hell in a... not Hell in a Cell. But Elimination Chamber or Royal Rumble or anything else in between that. I'm hoping they won't. Because if they let this build up right, they will have a winner on their hands. Everybody's going to want to see this. They want to see how far this goes. So this will be the hottest thing next year. Now the last thing. AJ versus Jinder Mahal. And I'm not going to lie. I wanted to see Jinder win. I know everyone's going to say, are you freaking crazy? Yes, I am. Because to be honest, if Jinder Mahal had won, it would have been the biggest troll the WWE could have done to its fans. It would have been the biggest troll. And to be honest, it would have been funny. And I know a lot of people would have hated it, but I would have laughed about it because of two reasons. One, the WWE has been wanting things the way they want for so long. And they were forced to do something they didn't want to do. They don't like putting jobbers in high positions. For the simple reason, they don't think they're useful at all. Jobbers are nothing but considered junk. But when you have no more people to work with, when John Cena's not there often, Randy Orton may be there, but he's all by himself. You got the new people, Shinsuke Nakamura, you got Kevin Owens, you got AJ Styles, you got all these other people there, including The Shield, and they're not enough of them to spread between two brands. You're going to have to put people that you wouldn't expect in those positions to do something. Yes, they went to India. Yes, Jinder Mahal mainly was because they needed an Indian champion. That's why he won. But I see it in this respect. Yes, that was also necessary to do that. He's Indian, they had to do it. But Jinder Mahal, as much as you guys don't want to hear it, was not a bad character. Yes, his character sucked, but he's not a bad wrestler to make the character work in some way. And when you see this match, Jinder Mahal practically, again, and this is what's happened to Jinder Mahal matches. I know a lot of people are going to say Jinder Mahal matches is garbage. Actually, they're not. If you look at a real Jinder Mahal match when the Singh brothers are not involved, he actually can wrestle pretty well. He does. He actually can wrestle. The man has skill. He also can do a decent promo, even though he's a very soft-spoken guy. Everyone hates his guts because he's a jobber and he thinks he's shit when he's not. So, seeing this, I wanted to see him win. Because it would have been a big troll. But also, the guy is not that bad. If he had gotten rid of the Singh brothers and worked on his own, he would have gotten over pretty well as a real heel. A real heel that had some variation in his character if they actually wrote it that way. That's the reason why. There was two reasons why I wanted it. One, he won because he was good enough for a wrestler and a performer to actually be interesting. Two, it would have trolled everybody. And I admit it would have been funny to see, and I would have said, Rage, anybody? But, in the end, AJ won. And it was a good match. Because the Singh brothers got involved at the end of the match, it was obvious it was actually pretty good. So was this a good show? It wasn't bad. It was solid enough that you can watch it once and say, I didn't enjoy everything there, but I wasn't completely bored and it didn't totally suck. So that's just how I feel about this. But tell me you guys, I really wanted to see Jinder win. Have a good day. Have a good night. Tell me what you think below. Peace.